Yeah, absolutely. And this is something that we have now. If we focus a little bit on the educated bet that you both are emphasizing over here, we have talked a lot with this about Bauti and multiple other entrepreneurs all around the world, but now specifically the past 12 months in Latin America. Are you really educating yourself before you're making the bet? Is it, or is it going to be only a gut feeling that, hey, you like this girl or boy who's making something cool, and then you think that, oh, this is amazing. Everybody can be great at selling. So what do you really mean by an educated bet? Do you have a process behind it? Or is this is something that this looks sexy, this feels amazing, we gotta go in?
I think it happens both ways, no? I mean, during my investment time, I've had definitely both types of investments. I would say that right now I try always to have a process behind it, which I can talk about or let Claudio talk about it more. But obviously have a process. But what I think of as the most important factor before I invest is, do I have, and this is what Claudio was saying in the second part of his answer, is what can I bring to the table for this investment? And that's a lot of my decision making is based on that. Is, can I actually help this company grow, be have better unit economics, have better connections, sell more, uh, be more efficient, or like go through their journey uh, better and faster and easier, or not. So sometimes I see some of these investments that are really sexy and that I see that I can make a good return and whatever. But if I can't really help in any way, or I won't be able to help in a moment of um, stress or downturn or whatever, then I won't invest, because then I think that I become a passive investor. And one of my very like focused things that I do when I invest is that I want to be an active investor. And if I don't have the capabilities or the knowledge or the experience to be an active investor, because I don't know the industry, I don't know the business model or whatever, then I don't invest. Those kinds of investments, I'm kind of exposed to those as an LP in other funds. But the investments that I make myself, I will only make if I can add something to the table and if I can help if things get rough.
In a way that if like I see that you have a consensus of this, that what you're aligned with your thinking of this, but if you will be able to dive deeper into then the process that you were talking about over there, and this makes very clear that both of you have this, you're evaluating your opportunities in a way that can you contribute, can you elevate the companies one way or another. But then when you're doing this process and you're evaluating these things, it's like what the process over there contains. If we now separate it into two different categories, you as an LP and then you as an angel or making direct investments. Claudio, if you were to be able to start a little bit over there, and especially from an LP point of view, what type of process you really have there, more educated bets?
In terms of an LP, it's just uh, trusting the partners that are running the fund, kind of seeing their track records and their critical thinking process. So you can either match and identify with them and help them out somehow, but it's not as active for me as it is with the angel investments that I do. And just adding on what Alan was saying, what I try to do is, and this is kind of an analogy, um, when you hire a bodyguard, pretty much every bodyguard will tell you he's able to kick some ass. He's able to defend himself. He's able to go in a street fight and be the winner. And you might see him like tall, buff, and all like gym muscly. But what you really want to see is if you put him on a street fight, how it's going to respond, And if he gets knocked out by the first punch he gets, then you're in trouble. So what I try to do with the founders as well is
So you
yeah,
go
they'll
fight with them. you're
You
going to
throw
put
them
them in the
punches.
ring. Because I saw on your WhatsApp picture that Claudio, you definitely, for the audience, Claudio did not need a bodyguard. He can kick some ass, like for real, like when he goes into. So your background and so that's your
Exactly.
approach. You put them into the ring and you put them in MMA ring and you see that how they can handle you. I think that's your process.
Exactly. So let's say they're doing something for the catering industry, where they're innovating something, and it makes sense to me. And what they're telling me has a logic behind it. And so I'll just give Ali a call, ask Ali and her team if I can make an introduction, and see how they go through that process and what the feedback is. I don't want to like push Ali to make a decision just because we have a friendship and a partnership. I really want to see if what they're proposing will add value to Ali and her company. And that won't cost me anything. And I will see them in action and what they actually perfect, where the opportunities are, and how we can work together to make the product even better. And at the end, I think still Latin America has a very small network of people that run, like I was saying, the family-owned businesses that are going to become or are trying to be the most of the startup clients or suppliers. So you can test that fairly easy, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So you're forcing them into the arena. Pretty nice.
Exactly, and see how they respond.
Now I see what you did to me the other day when you brought some entrepreneurs pitching their business. I should have been
Exactly.
tougher on them. I'm gonna be super nice.
Uh-huh. So you have this good cop and bad cop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I did as an LP looking for funds to invest is I interviewed a bunch of them. I talked to some of their entrepreneurs who they've financed and they've invested in, and how their relationship is, how their approach is, how they actually selected them as an investment. I look at their track record. I look to see if their values match with mine. And since I'm like always looking for diversity and investments where there is diversity, because I strongly believe that diversity brings better returns, I actually question the composition of their team, and I take into account if there is a diverse team behind that fund.